Yeah, I was told that this talk was hand-picked for me, which I think is, do we use this guy to advance it, or? Oh, this guy. Here we go. Please make it end. Oh, my ever-loving God. Can you guys make that message disappear? There we go. Okay. These are my disclosures. And the final one is, I consider myself the final arbiter of all that is professional. Thank you so much for assigning me this talk. I am the queen of professionality. But, okay, I do answer my pages. I don't get dressed up for clinic. I wear scrubs to clinic. I don't wear pearl. In fact, I never wear pearls and pumps ever. But I do my charts promptly. But at the same time, I don't always wear a white coat. So, I go back and forth in terms of what some people might consider professionalism. But in terms of fellows, I have found it to be extremely helpful to start out just by setting expectations for them. I no longer have them come in and just hope for the best. We sit them down at the beginning of the year. And by the way, I've given a talk in this session like 3 years in a row, and I refuse to not use that picture of the guy screaming, because that's been one of my approaches to fellowship training, is doing a lot of yelling. So we do a pre-yell at the beginning of every fellowship year, and we sit the fellow down, and the document is called Fellows and the MIS Team, and it started out at 1 page, and it's now up to like 5 pages, and it's based on prior crimes of fellows who have gone before, okay? So, the first one was simple, the 3 A's: availability, affability, ability. Some people don't hear this when they're in medical school and residency training, and I think it's important for people to hear that, and that ability is not at the top. Availability is the one that people want most. I tell people, you are the face of our division. Please behave professionally. Don't denigrate us to other people. We've had that happen before, even though it was appropriate. We don't want them to do that. Return your pages, call patients when they're having problems. Why do I have to say this? I don't know. It's a whole different generation. Read, learn, think about things. Don't just expect you're going to get it by osmosis. And please question what we do and come up with suggestions, just not in the middle of an operation when there's massive blood loss. Maybe ask us later if we should do that. So we do end it up on a high note. We expect it to be a great year. We want you to have been proud to train here. We want to be proud of you, and we want you to emerge as a technically skilled leader in your field, and that's always the hope for all of these people. It doesn't always come true, unfortunately, as everybody has learned, So these are some prior crimes that fellows of mine have done. My very first fellow would send one of our nurse practitioners off to the library with a list of articles for her to copy. It's like, this was before the digital age. How about the guy that ordered a kosher meal for an ICU patient who was NPO so that he could have a kosher meal to eat? This is falsification of the medical record, and he wasn't aware of that factoid. Oh, God, the guy that ordered it was like 30 pages of PRN medications, everything he could think of just to keep a nurse from paging him at night about anything. Just absolutely terrible. Now, this was my own personal family favorite. Sign a stack of controlled substance prescriptions and leave the stack in an unlocked locker and let the junior house staff know that it was there so that he wouldn't forget to order pain meds for patients that were going to be discharged, and they could order it. And this is a DEA violation, and he was terminated. Before that, he had run out of them, so he wrote his signature on a cocktail napkin and gave it to the intern and said, just copy my signature. You can't make this stuff up, but it does happen, unfortunately. Or maybe it just happens to me, I don't know. But, so this guy that was having people forge prescriptions, I was pretty sure he was gonna end up killing somebody, and I thought we should eliminate him before the year ended, and the other people thought, well, he's keeping it. No, we don't want people being a placeholder. If you're recognizing a problem that is that serious, you need to make it end, okay? And so it's not that easy to make it end. you have to do a lot of things in order to be able to get away with it. So you do have to sit them down. You have to plainly tell them what you're worried about. You have to document it. You have to write it. You have to have them sign it. And then you've got to do this month after month after month. And it's painful and humiliating and embarrassing. And we're working with adult learners, and we shouldn't have to do this, but you have to do this. And while you're in the process of it, you need to tell your DIO that it's going on. Tell the fellowship council. I did that, and I spoke to a number of people on the fellowship council and got advice about what to do with a guy that we had to terminate. And you have to tell your own department, because they're also going to try very hard to have you not terminate somebody, because it can come back to bite them as well. But when you got to do it, you got to do it. And that is it. Thank you. I'm going to keep you on time. You don't need me to stay.